Привет, друзья, and welcome to Be Fluent in Russian podcast number 7. Today, let's do something that we have never done before. Of course, it's only been 6 episodes, so we're going to be trying new things from time to time, and we'll see which ones, of course, you guys like the most. So you have a lot of influence on this podcast right now, especially in the beginning of it. If you like some episodes, please reach out to us, find a way to find us and text us, whether it's on YouTube, in the comments, on Instagram, on like email or anything like that, to let us know what kind of format you like the most. Today we're gonna break down 2 songs by Kino. Kino is a Russian Soviet band that is no longer active, and they have a lot of foundational and legendary songs that shaped USSR primarily and were really revolutionary back then, and still there's a lot of people who find them very good and they like them, especially learners who find that kind of a band like Kino. They tend to gravitate toward it, and honestly, I am not an exception to that. I've of course heard about this band many times when I was growing up, but I never really liked it like that. But I started to love it when I was in the States, kind of missing Russia a little bit, and I'll listen to their songs and they'll kind of make me feel peaceful in some sort of way. I don't know. It's of course the voice of the singer. Tsoi is his last name, Tsoi, and his voice and his style of singing and their music is very calm and peaceful. And I think that's why I chose these 2 songs, because these 2 songs are the most famous ones. And I think it's going to be good to break them down and to explain the meaning of them. I'm not going to explain the meaning, because the meaning, I don't like when people try to, of course, like read what the author had to say about it, because we can never really know unless they tell us. But this song, the first one is Звезда по имени Солнце. I will read it first, read through it. I'm not going to sing it, of course, but I'm going to read the lyrics first. So maybe you will understand a few words. This is the moment where you have to just simply listen in closely or rewind it multiple times, or just simply play the song for yourself whenever you're listening to this podcast as well, to hear it if you never heard it before. I truly recommend you do it. And then also add it to your playlist in some way. After we break the song down, you will understand the meaning of it much better. So whenever you're going to be listening to it, you will already know the meaning, and you will kind of search for individual words within that text or within the lyrics. So let's get into the first one. Звезда по имени Солнце. It goes like this. Белый снег, серый лед на растрескавшейся земле. Одеялом лоскутным на ней город в дорожной петле. А над городом плывут облака, закрывая небесный свет. А над городом желтый дым, городу 2000 лет, прожитых под светом звезды по имени Солнце. Second verse is: и 2000 лет война. Война без особых причин. Война – дело молодых. Лекарство против морщин. Красная-красная кровь. Через час уже просто земля. Через 2 на ней цветы и трава. Через 3 она снова жива. И согрета лучами звезды по имени Солнце. И мы знаем, что так было всегда, что судьбою был больше любим, кто живет по законам другим и кому умирать молодым. Он не помнит слова «да» и слова «нет», он не помнит ни чинов, ни имен и способен дотянуться до звезд, не считая, что это сон, и упасть опаленной звездой по имени Солнце. You might have, these words might be already too familiar to you by now if you have heard this song before. I was reading it even though I know the lyrics by heart, just because I don't want to skip any words. Okay, so let's now get into the breakdown. And this song, I have to say, like a lot of Kino songs, the meaning of these songs sometimes can be figurative. And it's hard to really predict what they wanted to say, what they intended to say with the song. And we're going to be talking about more of a literal translation of them. Sometimes I would try to guess the underlining meaning of it, but don't take that underlining meaning for truth. Okay, just simply my assumption. So, Белый снег, серый лед means white snow, gray ice. На растрескавшейся земле, on the cracked ground. It's hard to understand this one because white snow and gray ice on the cracked ground. How can you see the ground if it's covered in snow? Very interesting. Одеялом лоскутным на ней. Одеяло лоскутное means patched cover or patched. When you go to sleep, you cover with a cover or not a comforter. What is it called? Like like a bed cover, the one that's a bit thicker, not just like a regular sheet, but a cover. And then на ней means on it. So I guess white snow is laying on the cracked ground like a cover. So maybe that's what he meant when he said, the snow is laying like a cover on the ground. Город в дорожной петле means a city in a road loop. Not sure how that ties with the previous one, but it's moving on. А над городом плывут облака. And above the city, the clouds are floating. Or the clouds are swimming, but they're floating. So that's kind of like, плывут means to swim or to swim, but also it can mean to float over as well. Закрывая небесный свет, closing up the light of the sky. So the clouds are closing up the light from above with the sun. А над городом желтый дым, and above the city there is yellow smoke. Maybe that's to say, when the sun is beaming through the clouds, it's kind of like a yellow cover, and it looks like it's a smoke of some sort. And then he says, Городу 2000 лет. The city is 2000 years old. Прожитых под светом звезды по имени Солнце. That 2000 years lived under the light of the star called sun. Okay, that's the first verse. He's trying to paint a picture of the city, that it's with the snow, but the sun and the clouds are there. But honestly, it's getting a bit more intense with this next one. He was just trying to paint the picture with the first verse. И 2000 лет война, and the war is going for 2000 years. Война без особых причин, the war without any real reason or particular reason. Война – дело молодых. The war is a matter for the young or for the young people. When I first heard this one, I asked my parents, I was very young, maybe like 10 years old. What does it mean, война – дело молодых? Why is the war is a matter for young people? And then it goes into the next line. It says, лекарство против морщин, anti-wrinkle medicine. That's the part that I didn't understand. How is the war medicine for anti-wrinkles? And then my parents told me something very, very dark, okay? They said, well, if you're young, you go to the war, most people pass or die in the war, right? So you never get to have wrinkles. Because when you're young, you don't have them. And when you die young, you don't have wrinkles. So that's what he meant within that one line. Think about it, right? The war is a thing of young people. It's anti-wrinkle medicine. You never have to worry about the wrinkles at all. Kind of dark, right? Then it goes into say, Красная-красная кровь, red, red blood. Через час уже просто земля. In an hour is just simply ground or dirt. Or earth. So, of course, when in the war blood is spilled and it's on the ground, and he is painting this picture with the next few lines as well. Через два на ней цветы и трава. In 2 hours, already flowers and the grass is growing on that blood. Через 3 она снова жива. Within 3 hours, the ground is already healed up and is back alive. Of course, not within exact hours, but what he's saying here is that, the war is a matter for young. The blood is there for an hour, it's already, becoming a ground. In 2 hours, it's flowers. And in 3, the ground is back being how it was before. So he's saying that blood spilled is so quickly forgotten about, or back into the ground and back into the movement. So that sacrifice that people are taking, it just simply fades away very quickly, and it's quickly forgotten. I'm not taking any political stance on this one, just simply trying to explain. Again, this is something that I think, or this verse means to me, how I understand it. It might be different for you or for other people. It's simply my opinion here. И согрето лучами звезды по имени Солнце, and is warmed up with the beam of light of a star called sun. И мы знаем, что так было всегда, and we know that's how it was all the time or always, что судьбою был больше любим, that fate was more favoring or more loving. Then continuing, кто живет по законам другим, loving to those who live by different laws or according to laws that are different. И кому умирать молодым, and those who die young or are supposed to die young. So the fate loves those who lives by different rules and who dies young. Fate favors them more. I don't know how that's possible. If you die young, how is that favored by the fate? So он не помнит слово «да» и слово «нет». He does not remember the word yes and the word no. So he forgets even the most basic things. Он не помнит ни чинов, ни имен. He doesn't remember the ranks. Ranks mean like in the military ranks, like lieutenant general, all those things. Ни имен. Not ranks and not names either. И способен дотянуться до звезд, and he is capable to reach the stars, не считая, что это сон, without, or regardless that it's just a dream. So he doesn't know the words yes or no, doesn't know any ranks or names, and he can reach the stars, even though it's just a dream. And then, и упасть опаленной звездой по имени Солнце, and fall scorched by star named Sun. So, I guess a full explanation of this song is he's talking about people who are in the war. They're going back and forth with it and stuff. And I think the overall meaning is that the star called Sun is there, and the city has been under that star for 2,000 years. Wars have gone past. People die. People's blood is in the ground, and then the flowers are growing from it. Whatever is happening under the sun is just simply temporary. That there is a bigger picture or a bigger purpose for all of us, and not just our everyday worries and everyday concerns that we have. That's how I would explain this song, or how I would understand it, is that the sun is still there regardless if it's war or no war, and we should not think about immediate things but think of a bigger picture. That's what it means to me. Now, what does it mean to you? If you heard the song before, or if you heard the song and the translation, of course, when I was translating, I was kind of giving my 2 cents. But if you catch a different meaning about this one, please put it in the comments. Please reach out to us anywhere on Instagrams and all of that to give your 2 cents about this, because it's pretty interesting. Of course, songs can have multiple meanings and they can mean different things from different people. So it's going to be pretty interesting to read that. Next song is called Группа крови, which means blood type. Okay? Let's go. Теплое место, но улицы ждут отпечатков наших ног. It's a warm place, but the streets are waiting for our footprints. Звездная... Oh, I guess I started translating as I was going, but let's do that instead of reading it first. If you want to read it first or listen to the song first, you can always find it on different platforms. This song is called Группа крови. Okay? Звездная пыль на сапогах. Stardust on the boots. Мягкое кресло, клетчатый плед, не нажатый вовремя курок. Soft armchair, squared cover, and not pressed a trigger that was not pulled in time or not pressed in time. Солнечный день в ослепительных снах. A sunny day in dazzling dreams. Again, kind of a military war kind of perspective here. He's talking about we are in a cozy place right now, but the streets are waiting for our footprints. It's time for us to go and march somewhere or go somewhere. And then звездная пыль, the stardust, на сапогах. I'm thinking about this as it's nighttime. And the starlight is on our boots. Military people wear boots. People, like, of course, when we walk, we don't really wear boots. But okay, maybe in English, boots have a different meaning. But in Russian, сапоги is more of like high boots. And people don't really wear them unless it's rain time, right? So unless it's the rain and the puddles are around, that's when we would wear сапоги. But I think he's talking about the military boots here. And then also, soft armchair, squared cover, and not a trigger not pulled in time. Again, military stuff. Солнечный день в ослепительных снах, sunny day in dazzling dreams. So I think that's how I would explain this first one. And then verse or chorus is like this. Группа крови на рукаве. Мой порядковый номер на рукаве. My blood type is on my sleeve. My serial number is on my sleeve. Again, something, talking about if you're in the military, you have your blood type on your uniform. So if something happens, they know what kind of blood you would need, transfer to you. And also the serial number of a person as well. Пожелай мне удачи в бою. Пожелай мне. Wish me luck in the fight or in the battle. And wish me, continuing, не остаться в этой траве. Не остаться в этой траве. Not to stay or not to remain in this grass. In other words, not to be killed. Пожелай мне удачи. Пожелай мне удачи. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Again, of course, military stuff and war stuff. И есть чем платить, но я не хочу победы любой ценой. And I have something to pay with, but I don't want to win at any cost or at any means. Interesting. I don't know what this one means exactly. Maybe the next lines will help us. Я никому не хочу ставить ногу на грудь. I don't want to put my foot on anyone's chest or to defeat anyone, to kill anyone. I have something to pay with, but I don't want to win at any cost. Again, I would read this as something that he doesn't want this war to happen. We have something to pay with. We have the military, we have the forces, but we don't want to pay with any kind of form of payment. But by any means, we don't want to pay with human lives. And he's talking about he doesn't want to kill anyone or to put his foot on anyone's chest. Я хотел бы остаться с тобой. Я хотел бы остаться с тобой. I would love to stay with you. I would love to stay with you. I would love not to go. But но высокая в небе звезда зовет меня в путь. But a star high in the sky is calling me out, or is calling me out with a purpose. Okay? So I will want to stay with you, but there's a higher purpose that's calling me. Maybe that's, the government is calling him or his duty is calling him, but he'll want to stay with the person that he is with now, but something, is calling him to go. Maybe that's what it is. And then it goes back to the chorus where blood type is on my sleeve, my serial number is on my sleeve. Пожелай мне удачи в бою, пожелай мне не остаться в этой траве, не остаться в этой траве, пожелай мне удачи, пожелай мне удачи. So, all of these things, I think he is referring to the war and not wanting to go, not wanting to kill anyone, because there's other ways of paying or other ways of resolving the issue. And, victory by any means is not something that he likes for himself, for people around him. So that's how I would explain this song, and that's how I would explain the first one, talking about, the sun and people also die in the war. So I guess these two songs were a bit more on the military side of it, and at least how I would see it. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope this was useful, not too heavy. This was not intended to be heavy. It's just we're explaining cultural things and cultural things that shape the Russian kind of mindset. If you think about it, if these two songs are two of the most popular songs by Kino and people listen to it right now, there's something in it that interests Russian. So I hope that by explaining this song, you also got a good understanding of what these two songs are about and what kind of draws the love for the band Kino in Russia as well. That's it. If you have any other recommendations for songs, it can be less of that heavy and intense kind of songs. It can be something more of a pop culture. Please, again, reach out to us in any shape or form that you can. It's not that hard to find us online, all right? That's it. See you all over at B-Fluent Camp. We're starting our 8-week intensive course on January the 10th. If you want to learn more about culture, you will also cover that there a little bit. But it's mostly, of course, language-related stuff, grammar and vocabulary, and listening and speaking. But at the end of it, if you're a beginner, you will learn how to speak Russian on the basic level. Yes, you might be a little afraid of speaking right now, but you will learn how to break that speech down into small steps and accomplish each of them individually, and how to speak Russian on the basic level with any native speaker with any language who knows Russian language as well. And if you're intermediate, you will know how to speak better and with less mistakes. And join our B-Fluent Camp with the first link in the description, and let's work on your Russian together.